Welcome to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower, where we do our best to give you useful information in 20 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, 5-time Voice Arts Awards nominee, David Brower.
Thanks, Alan. This is David Brower with your 20-minute podcast. Our special guest from Wasilla, Alaska. I've been there. You haven't. Anyway, Wasilla, Alaska is Lisha Antiqua. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did. Thank you, David.
Hey, it's great to talk to you. And congratulations, first and foremost, on everything you got going on. I mean, it's a lot from your own university, consulting, helping people, giving away free mini courses. How did you get started in all this?
I really was led through it from my life experiences, and I just got a heart for people really coming out of self-struggle and doubt, and joining self-awareness and love, because I think that we all matter here on the planet. We're all here for a reason. We're born, which is miraculous.
Yep.
No matter what our past was, right? So instead of looking at the past, I help people look at their future and create brighter ones.
So tell me about your own university. I like at your own university, you matter, which is your own university, YOU, but that's very clever. Tell me about that.
Well, 20 some odd years ago, I was sitting in a coffee shop in California having a conversation with a friend. And we were talking about how important it is and how much growth we've already in our 20s, right? We had already experienced, and how everybody has different life experiences. And it seems like we go through these like tests of limitations and tests to control our minds and our emotions and just different opportunities. And it looks different for everybody.
You bet.
And how we felt like we were in our own school, right?
Right.
And so we called it Your Own University. We're going to
graduate.
We're going to graduate.
That's so cool. Well, and the other cool thing about it is Your Own University, I mean, really involves a lot of things, from holistic certification to yoga to, I mean, there's a lot of pieces to Your Own University, isn't there?
Absolutely. 3 main pieces, and you named 2 of them. We have a public membership, which really for people that love to just explore who they are, explore different viewpoints, and really create healthy habits in their lives. We have a membership to support that supports everybody from, somebody that's in holistic medicine already and looking at that, to people that are brand new to it. And this membership is a low monthly fee because we tend to take course after course after course. And I've talked to so many people that have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on personal development. And I thought, well, how can we do this and continuously do this with, the daily support to remind us, especially in those times where we get super busy and creative, about self-care so we don't lose it.
That's where we're at, though, right? We're going 300 miles an hour. And if we don't figure out a way to slow down to nurture ourselves, it's just not going to happen. So your approach is so spot on.
Yeah. So in our membership, we send out a daily email, 365 I wrote, of just 10-minute tips where you try out something new or something old and spend those 10 minutes focusing on bettering a part of your life that you have power in.
Nice.
And we split those categories into 6 power categories that we truly have choice. And how do we make those choices for ourselves? So we have those 10-minute glimpses into you each and every day. And then we have monthly master classes with coaches and authors and mentors that are on the top of their game, talking about everything from relationships, that's our focus this month, to your health and well-being, mindset, and breaking through those mindset barriers, and emotional intelligence, which is huge in leadership and corporate, to what is your real purpose? Like, why are you here? It might be something that you make money with. It might not be.
Why is really that's the question of the decade, isn't it? I mean, it's just why?
Why? Right.
It's so simple, but yet it's so complicated. Yeah.
So we help you to answer that question for yourself.
Nice.
And it's really about drawing that attention back into self rather than to the external world, and finding that place where you create freedom. And then we train holistic practitioners. So we have 3 certification programs. One is for holistic coaches, and it's a beautiful program that I designed after taking many, many, many certification programs.
Good for you.
Yeah, that I tried to really encompass how to be a holistic coach, how to really help a person at every angle of their life, because how they do one thing, or how we do one thing, how I do one thing,
Hmm.
is how we do everything. So when we get one area really great, usually another area would fall apart.
Sure.
And so how do we focus on all of that so you can have a holistic, a whole life that is really working with you and for you, instead of kind of as soon as you do one thing falls apart.
So somebody out there listening is going, what's holistic? What does that mean?
So holistic to us means whole, right? So we're not only looking at your health and well-being physically and mentally, but also emotionally and spiritually, and how you portray yourself in the world, in relationships, and in your purpose.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I like what you're saying for a lot of reasons, but one of the things that really speaks to me is that, like a lot of us, we learn from things in our past, right? And we pick those up and we go forward if we're lucky, and if we're really blessed, we're able to touch other people and pay it forward and those kinds of things. And so you've taken all these holistic things and all these studies and all this stuff, and now you're going, let's keep this simple. Here's 10 minutes. You can you can give yourself 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just 10 minutes. Why can't you give yourself 10 minutes? You're worth 10 minutes. Come on.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's awesome.
So as we do that, really what is happening with our members is they create a balance in their life, and we
Mhm.
all want balance. And we teach other things to just help you dive deeper in places where you might need some support. And we have a whole catalog of master classes for our members. And then we have masterminds on Mondays. And if you've ever been in a mastermind or heard about masterminds, it's
Yeah.
where people come together with a common goal. And this common goal is to live our highest purpose, to matter to ourselves, to our families, to our communities, and then to the world.
And if I understand it correctly, really you're brainstorming at the top of your game, right? And you're trying to contribute. I mean, all these people, if there's 6 people, 8 people, 2 people, 3 people, if it's a mastermind group, you've got all these minds trying to master this solution collectively and come up with something that will help people at large. Is that kind of the gist of it?
Absolutely, because when we help ourselves, we help everybody around us. So
Mhm.
eventually, as there's more and more of us thinking in a way that is taking what we've learned from the past, but really looking at it in a different way to pass those tests of limitations and take our own lives, up level our own vibration, up level our own lives, and then share what we've learned with one another. We don't have to necessarily be in the field of holistic medicine in order to help our kids live a better life, to help our spouse or our boyfriends or girlfriends or our friends just know that they matter.
Well, yeah. And I think if you get into a place, if you're blessed enough to go, all right, I'm going to carve out 10 minutes. And this 10 minutes on October 14th, I mean, it speaks to me like nobody's business. And here's how it touches me. And here's the goosebumps I got out of it. And here's the epiphany and the aha. I mean, you're going to share that with somebody.
Absolutely. And they'll be like, oh, how do you do that?
Yeah,
And then you teach them, right? So
right.
it's the ripple effect. And I just made a YouTube video about the ripple effect, but the ripple effect affects us all eventually.
Yeah,
The
I
whole
just got
world.
goosebumps. Excuse me, I'm pausing for goosebumps. That was pretty intense right there. I loved it.
Yeah.
So, so you have a YouTube channel. I haven't taken a look at that. What's on your YouTube channel?
So I started about 6 months ago. I felt an inspiration to do a YouTube channel. It's
Mhm.
Your Own University on YouTube,
Okay.
and it's just growing. But I talk about life. I share my life experiences, and then I talk about just different themes that comes up with my clients and our people in our coaching curriculum, and things that matter.
Nice.
And we just talk about those topics. And then again, I try to keep it at 10 minutes because we're inundated with all this stuff. And so like your podcast at 20 minutes is perfect. Right? You have so much limited time. So each week you can have a thought or two. And I try to put out 2 videos a week.
Nice. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I put a lot of thought into that because if I go to listen to a podcast and it's going on for an hour and a half, oh
Yeah.
my God, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. So I'm looking on your website, and you encourage people to start with one of your 4 mini courses and a trial membership. and to the famous Your Own University. Amazing health, powerful mindset, feel great, more money. Seems like really a nice, easy way to put your toe in the water with any one of those.
Absolutely. And then on my personal page, I am a transpersonal psychiatrist, therapist, and I absolutely love looking at how the pieces of experience come together in people. And we get hung up on some major areas, like
Yeah.
trauma is a major area.
Yeah.
And so we all have kind of experienced some sort of hiccup that we couldn't cope with, which is the definition of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so on my website, I have some free mini courses just explaining how to work through some of those things, how to cope with some of those things, whether I have one for health, one for mindset, one for some PTSD and some other like trauma related stuff. And then for your business and your purpose and money.
Nice. So, I mean, you take it from extremes, probably the wrong word, but I'm going to use it anyway. From one extreme to the other, meaning one person, one-on-one, to groups, to speaking to corporate events, to webinars. I don't know. Do you do the full meal deals? Feels
I,
like you should.
I
Feels like
do,
you.
I do it all. I have tried it all. I do it all. And it's where I can show up and serve the best that I continue to show up. So as people show up, I jump into that platform.
You know what? That if you just show up, I love that. I mean, in every aspect of your life, whether it's one of your events, one of your seminars, whether it's having dinner with your kid, whether it's, getting your car fixed, going to church. I mean, whatever it is, just show up. And it
Just show
just,
up.
oh my gosh, it does such wonderful things for you as an individual. And then you exude that confidence that you get from just showing up. It's pretty simple, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So people can work with me one on one. They can work with me and train to be a holistic
Hmm.
coach or yoga instructor in a methodology that really helps people bring all their pieces back together, call back their energy, call back their power, call back that power of choice. So
Right.
then they can make those powerful choices when that align with your heart, right? So if you're
Yeah.
listening to this, like I want you to align with your heart, not mine, not David's, but your heart. And that's where the magic happens. That's where we put our 2 cents into the world. That's where we get to expand and create that ripple effect.
And that's why it's your own university. It's about
Why?
you as an individual. I love it. Just so
Yeah,
cool. So take your
absolutely.
life, make it matter. Let's talk about angel card readings. What is that? Sounds fascinating to me.
It was part of my master's degree. I decided to learn how to do angel counseling because it was something different that I hadn't done, and I'd done a lot of other stuff.
Hmm.
And it was offered at the university that I go to. And it was just, I've always had this deep relationship with spirit and the spiritual world. And angels have always been a part of my life.
You can say God if you want to. It's okay.
I can.
Yeah.
Yay! So with God, and my master's thesis was on the Yoga Sutras in the Bible and a comparison of books 1 and 2 of the Yoga Sutras and how it fits in with biblical teachings and where it doesn't and where it's science and where it's not. And so
Oh,
that was really heavy. So I wanted to do something that was more light and fun and
yeah.
utilize a different way of coaching and counseling with people. And so I've learned how to utilize angel therapies and all of that stuff. So part of that was utilizing Kimberly Maroney's angel cards, and and it was really fun. It's fun to do, and the insights that come are like incredible because they're not from me,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Oh, whoa, that makes so much sense. That gives me so much clarity. Now I know what to do next." And it's also a way that I can work with somebody once
Yeah.
and they can get to know me rather than buying a whole package or working with me in a more counseling, coaching, therapeutic manner.
Well, tell me briefly, what is angel therapy? You say angel card, I think tarot card, that ain't it. So what is angel therapy basically?
Well, it's tapping into that awareness within yourself that you are a sovereign being, that you are a soul. and that there are, in all faiths and all religions, there are helpers, there are angels,
Mm-hmm.
and that this time in history is no different than any other. Like, we have the ability to call on those angels to form a relationship with them, and that allows us to get answers that aren't of the outside world, but are more in line with our souls and our spirits. And so I don't really know how to explain it more than that. I'm also new to it. It's been about a year,
Uh-huh.
and that I've been practicing it, and
Good.
it's just something fun to do.
I'm fascinated by it. It's in my world, because I don't know anything about that, but I pray several times a day, so that helps.
Beautiful.
That helps.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Yeah.
Right? That's what it felt like to me. Is I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to pray. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to, spend some time in my soul and my spirit, and let God speak to me if He wants to, and go on with my day. Right?
Yeah, it's where I open up and I allow myself to be a vessel and a conduit for God to speak through. And most of the time it's like spot on. And I'm like, whoa, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, man, that's Goosebump City when you get that kind of stuff. It's like,
yeah, it really is. It's awesome. Beautiful gift to be able to offer people.
Oh, indeed. So people want to get in touch. We still got, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. We got plenty of time here. But, you've got some books. I wanted to mention your books. You've got All In, Yoga Sutra, and the Bible Comparison. I'm fascinated by that. That just came out this year, it looks like.
It took me 10 years to write and study that. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. So anybody that's interested in yoga or interested in how Western and Eastern philosophies can come together, that is a great resource. You can get it on Amazon. It's called All In, Lisha Antiqua. Yeah. And then my other book is From Bondage to Happiness. And it's really a book about perspective and how we can deal with trauma or a hard past by shifting that perspective and leaning into God. And as a transpersonal therapist, transpersonal means like a beyond the person. So it's
Gotcha.
Soul work, and it ties into that soul work.
The thing I like about the title of your book, the From Bondage to Happiness, part of it, the title is, if you live through it, you can love through it.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. That's powerful right there, kid. That's something.
Awesome. So Amazon has that one as well.
Yep. I'm looking at them, and you got another one too. It's Ageless Beauty, Timeless Truth, 237 Tips to Pamper You, Feed Your Soul, and Your Relationships.
Yes. So that was the inspiration for the 365 days at your own university, those 10-minute tips. Dr. Diadio Moses and I put those compilations together, and it's really about relationship and health in that book. And just really easy, fun tips to kind of tackle any situation to honor yourself.
Well, and people listening to this, there's a couple of things that come out about you, not to minimize them because there's more than a couple, but your authenticity and your integrity scream volumes. The fact that you've made these websites and these programs so simple and easy to follow, easy to read, easy to put your toe in, not feeling obligated to jump in with all your forces, but go, all right, let's try this a little bit. So it's cool what you're doing and how you're doing it. And you got to be touching thousands of people all the time,
I sure hope so. And I would love to touch more. We are ready to definitely touch more. Nice. We have, our membership is open and anyone can join and then jump in, right? You show up and you.
And how do you do that? What's the best way to reach out to you to do that? Just
go to yourownuniversity.com.
Okay.
All one streamlined word because, it's on the internet, so you can't put spaces. and become a member. It's really, really that simple.
I love it. Well, congratulations. And you've got a wonderful spirit, and no wonder you're being so successful and touching so many lives, and continued success and many blessings to you.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I hope to see you on the inside.
Yeah, it's been a treat.
Listen to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower on the go. Downloads are available on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any podcast app, and on our website at davidbrowervo.com/your20-minute podcast. Until next time, thank you for listening.